Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I mean, when I heard your story, I got tears in my eyes. I was listening to you speak and I thought we have to have her on the show to kind of tell people this is really happening. It's hard to believe. So let's give a little background about you and your story, and then we'll get into this travesty of justice of what is going on.
Well, people know me for obviously being in front of the abortion clinic, preaching the gospel, but I went viral a couple of times, and I think just for the Christian activism that I do,
Yeah.
one of them was throwing black paint on the Black Lives Matter graffiti on the floor, on the street in front of Trump Towers. Another was for talking to a liberal woman about the Democrat Party and basically the truth of the racism of the Democrat Party. And I think that's about it. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of other things, but I've just been out here for a while trying to just, bring light to darkness and just expose certain narratives and agendas that are causing death to this nation. So, right. So let's start from 2020. After Trump, they did what they had to do to get him out of office. And I mean, I guess I want to start really there with January 6th.
Right.
I feel like for the year 2020, so many people died and got hurt due to riots of BLM from Minneapolis. I witnessed one in Chicago. I stood out front and I streamed while they bust open a Foot Locker and stole everything in the Foot Locker for the sake of Black Lives Matter, okay? I've never seen that type of savagery before, and it was something so bad that all you could do is pray and cry. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
And so for the year of 2020, people just had the green light to just rebel. Aside from following COVID regulations, you had two extremes. On one end, you had super duper strong COVID regulations. And then on another end, you can kind of do what you want. You can protest, raise your voice, be angry for Black people, right? And so during that time, I'm just like, listen, I'm going to stand in front of this abortion clinic. I'm going to preach the gospel. And we ended up doing a 2-day Jesus Matters rally. Right. The thing is, the buzz kind of grew with me because, again, so many people were home, were out of jobs, were going into debt, were trying to figure out how they're going to pay their rent, and they're still killing babies. So we did this rally, and I mean, we just invited everybody. It didn't matter whether you were Catholic, whatever. As long as you had a stance against the murder of innocent children and you believed in Jesus, we connected. We came together, and it was an amazing 2-day rally. Right. Police were on site the whole time. I never got arrested. I never had a charge. Nothing. As far as I'm concerned, it was a simple rally that happened. That's it. Now, after they get Trump out of office by stealing the election, they sue me. Letitia James, the same one who sued Trump, the New York Attorney General, came after me, and she sued me for an injunction to keep me from being 30 feet away from the building. Now, at this time, I had already moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So it didn't really make a difference for me. I was like, you know what? My legal team, Thomas More at the time, which was a Christian legal team, not a pro bono Christian legal team, they were like, listen, just settle without admission of guilt. You're already in Tennessee. You don't even live in New York anymore. It's no point, whatever. So I did. I took their advice and I did. I don't think we realized in the beginning of 2021 how much these people were coming for blood and how they wanted you to not only bend over, but to spread cough and lube. You get what I'm saying? Like they wanted the end.
Yeah,
okay?
I get
so
it.
After they sued me for this same 2-year rally in 2021, by December 2022, they then indicted me federally, where I had to go to court. They did a grand jury where I was not aware. Technically, when there's a grand jury, I'm supposed to have the right to be there to speak to the jury before they decide to agree to this indictment. They didn't.
Oh my God.
Next thing I know, I have charges up against me. They're telling me I need to turn myself in. So I did. And I fought this case. And the thing is, I want people to know why I was found. I was charged with 2 things: conspiracy of FACE and FACE. FACE is a freedom of access of clinics interests. Freedom access of clinic interests, right? I was charged with FACE and conspiracy to FACE. I was found not guilty on conspiracy, but I was found guilty on FACE. Okay? Now, people ask, how did a grand jury find you guilty? Let me give y'all something you may not know. During the deliberation, the jury has the right to come out, ask a question to the judge. Everybody then has to convene back into the court and sit there, and the jury has to ask that question to the judge. The jury asked the judge, if we find her guilty of threat, obstruction, and interference, but we do not find her guilty of a hand injury, is she guilty? The judge says, if she's not guilty of every single count, then she's not guilty. So they put on the paper that they thought I was not guilty of the claimed hand injury. Yet the judge did not allow the expression, basically when a jury deliberates, you're told what you're deliberating about.
Right.
The judge would not allow the topic of freedom of speech.
Oh, wow.
So now, if I'm out there preaching and I'm saying, I cancel this place in the name of Jesus, and prosecution says that's a threat, the jury is not being told, wait a minute, you still have to implement the First Amendment. You can't, it has to be a direct threat of, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Right.
I'm going to, or if I declare
Physically
terror,
block
I'm going
you.
to terrorize this place in the name of Jesus, but I'm saying it in a formatic way. No. So what they did was they manipulated, like me being there, and that, I think that day, 150 women were scheduled to get abortions. None of them did. They considered that interference because my influence didn't get those women to get the abortion. So that's interfering with medical care. So they really, yes, they really took this space thing and they milked it. And then of course you have it's New York. I'm being tried in the same court as Trump. The same jury people that found him guilty, watching how fluky that trial was, are the same type of people who found me guilty. No fear of God. No fear of God at all. They told the jury before they deliberated, this is not about God. Yeah. The judge would not allow a clause of freedom of speech. That alone is going to make faith seem valid when it's not. Right. Faith was created for individuals who go in there and they chain themselves to the door and they have guns and weapons and they bomb the place. Right. Faith was created for individuals like that. Faith was not created for people like me. No. And the thing is, if I was really violating faith, why it take y'all 2 years to indict me? Mm-hmm. If this was such a serious crime and I'm just such a threat to society, why did you wait till after Dotson? Yeah. Emails didn't correspond. My lawyer has proof that emails did not transpire until after Dotson. So that tells me this was a revenge move. That was the reason they literally forced my hand to be in front of I was doing street ministry and going to like ghettos and dealing with the homeless. I was involved, like I'm obviously pro-life as a Christian, but I never really got involved like that until Governor Cuomo legalized abortion up to 9 months. Right. At this point, I felt like, wow, we're a failure as Christians because we are not taking this thing seriously to the point that he got the balls to legalize abortion up to 9 months. I'm like, okay, no, we got to go in front of this abortion clinic and we're going to have to make our voice known. And so literally, this is the thing that the left does that I think they're not smart about. They literally put people between a rock and a hard place, even their own voters. I have an uncle who is a never Trumper. He's a never Trumper. When he heard that I was sentenced to 41 months, he said, Bev, I'm not voting for Trump. When I vote, I'm voting for you. Yeah. And what he meant by that was, I'm going to vote for Trump, but I'm voting for you. They are going so far. They are making things very blatant. Their agenda, they don't even have any decorum in how they're doing things anymore. It's all middle fingers left and right. It's a street fight. There's no more in the ring boxing. But what they fail to realize is that you have gone so far that your normal JFK Democrat is now endorsing Trump. Right. Your independents, they don't want what you're bringing to the table. It's no longer a democratic type of mindset. You're a communist. Right. And you're making everybody know, wait a minute, these are full-blown communists. Kamala went to a Planned Parenthood to campaign. I know. Even Obama didn't stoop that low. No. A little bit of decorum. Kamala, you're going to go to an abortion clinic to campaign? Yeah. So now, this abortion faith, this is a beast. This is the Goliath of the nation. They clear after expenses. You can imagine how many people they pay off.
Yeah.
They're building, that building alone in Manhattan, that's at least a $100 million building.
Yeah.
They clear after expenses $40 billion a year. That was until the Supreme Court ruling. You know what's about to happen now? I'm going to tell you the truth. I think they already know Kamala's not going to win, and they just needed her in to take that money because they had a lot of donor money that they would have had to return had they had not put somebody in. She's talking about threat to democracy. How are you even running?
It's unbelievable. I know.
How are you running when you ain't get no vote? First of all, you want to be technical. As soon as Biden dropped down at primaries, Trump should have been announced the president right then and there. The moment he dropped out, Trump should have been announced the president of the United States, because that's the way it works. When you are in a primary, when you're running as a primary,
right,
if you decide to step down, you don't put somebody up that didn't get the primary vote. It's supposed to be Trump right now as president. So even what they're doing is completely illegal, but they don't care. So I'm doing the appeal now. There's a possibility the judge is, my lawyer is going to present my case and request a stay of appeals because I've been very cooperative. This whole case, I traveled all the way to New York every time I was going to trial. I didn't miss a day. My sentencing, I was in Vegas and all of our flights were canceled because of that cyber attack.
Right.
And I still made my way. I flew all the way to Philly and took a train to make it to court on time. So my diligence in getting to court has been upstanding, following the rules, making sure that I follow my pretrial orders. I've been doing what I'm supposed to do. So he's hoping because of that, there will be, a granting to let me appeal my case from the outside. Unfortunately, we're dealing with, and he's going to appeal. If her decision is no, he's going to appeal that as well. But unfortunately, we're dealing with people that want blood. And like you said, even if they don't get a victory, they bleed you. I'm going to tell you how bad they bleed you. I'm going to tell you how bad it is. I want you guys to understand how personal this thing is. There's a woman, I think the one that Trump talks about, the 74-year-old woman that was sentenced.
Yeah.
When she was found guilty, they had a GoFundMe. Okay? I don't know how much she made, but she made like $200,000 or something. And it was supposed to be to support her family because she was going to jail. Do you know at sentencing, they requested the exact same amount that she got from the GoFundMe for damages? You got to understand, communism. All right, let me break it down to you like this. Great. I was raised in a household where my mom is a narcissist. If you want to know the personality of Satan is a total narcissist. They are a narcissist to a default. They're self to destruction. Okay? So when you're dealing with a communist government, it is you know how like when you watch these cartoons, right? And there's always a villain with this total world domination.
Yeah.
This is communism. Communism is total governmental domination and a complete foot on the neck of the people on every level. It goes beyond a monarchy. Yeah. It goes beyond a king leader and the people choosing to serve the king. This is the leaders making the people serve them. Right. Now, where does this come from? Well, before mankind was created, Satan before he fell, he was a cherubim, he was a leader, he was a master of trade, he was a leader, he was in leadership under God. He fell, and then God created man. Satan hates man. Man is even better than an angel because man was made in the image of God with the same authorities of God. Son of man has the power to raise the dead. Son of man has the power to heal. Son of man has the power to forgive. Jesus came to show you the power that man has that Satan could not conquer even until death. He was risen from the grave. Nothing Satan could do could conquer. Satan wants communism because Satan wants his foot on the neck of the people. So any individual who is even desiring communism, they are of their father, the devil. We are dealing with demonic forces. There's a show I'm watching right now. It's called Evil.
Yeah.
I think Catholics made it.
Yeah.
And the show is so good because even though it's entertaining, it exposes those corporate leaders, those big dogs. Honey, if you knew what they did in the dark. Let me break it down to you like this. When Governor Cuomo legalized abortion up to 9 months, he added 2 things in that didn't make sense. That it did not have to be in a medical facility, and that it did not have to be done by a medically licensed person.
Oh my God. Well, what is that? It's a human sacrifice. Yeah.
You tell me?
Yeah.
So now in New York, you can legally just sacrifice children. Period. And the biggest thing is Satan hates unity outside of his camp.
There you go.
His camp, he wants to be unified. But our camp, he wants to be divided. So if you really want to conquer Satan, I'm not telling you to go get some holy water and go pray in another language. It's really not that complicated. It's as simple as when it's time to go and vote, go vote, but also help the ballot box. Yeah. Go stand, go watch. Right. Watch what people do with the votes. Protect the votes. That's your gift to the people. Americans, we have lost sight of who we are as an American people. Third world country people are selfish. That's why they're a third world country, because every man is for themselves. The American people, we're not. We go to other countries. When we go to these third world countries, we don't go to get, we go to give. They come here looking for what they can take from us. When we go to them, we go to them for what we can give to them. We have to keep that American mentality. Kill race, all of that. Yes, I'm black, you white. All right, what the hell ever. Let's move past that. Right. The reality is, we both from America. Yeah. Me and you both come. We grew up on the same foods, fried chicken, and all the other stuff we done grew up on.
Totally.
We have the same history. No matter whether you came from Europe or I came from Africa, at some point in time, our backgrounds merge together to the fact that we are all American. And you know what I noticed? We understand that better when we outside of our country. When people start ragging on Americans and you visit in another country, or when you see somebody else that's from America, you're like, oh, you American? Oh, okay, we good. We can roll together. We get each other. Yeah. There's a standard in how we operate as Americans. It's in unity. We band together. We stand together as a people. We fight together as a people. We put our money together. Why is the left and the wicked ones the ones showing off how much money they got, supporting one another's agendas and funding each other? It's like they don't gotta go crawling for money like we do. No. But us American people and us Christians, we gotta go begging on everybody's door for money. We gotta go begging on everybody's door to get some support behind us. Right. It has to stop. It's time to unite as a people and start working together to get these devils out. It's a new trial. Right now, I know by the end of the month whether they're going to extend my surrender date, or what I mean by that is grant my state of appeal. So I'll know by the end of the month. So just pray for me with that. And also on givesendgo.com/Bevelyn Beatty Williams, you have the option to pray, give, and share. So please, that's a Christian platform. I give them a percentage of the money that's raised because I do want to make sure I support that woman. I know her personally. She's an amazing woman of God. They've called me to pray with me. So that's why I will only be loyal to their platform. But if you can definitely go on there, I don't care what you give. I mean, just partner with me. Yeah. Partner with me, touch and agree with me, and just unite with me. GIVE send SEND go.com Bevelyn BEVELYN Beatty BEATTY Williams WILLIAMS. You guys, you can find my social media links on there. Great. My ministry link at wellministries.org. That's where you can contact me personally. You can send me letters. I've been getting all the letters and I've been reading them. I've been getting all of them. So you can just reach out to me there. There's also a phone number there and my email is up there. So you guys can just reach out, connect with me. GiveSendGo /BevelynBeattyWilliams.com, and all of my links are on that platform.